I don't say this lightly. I'm not the sort of person that's just going to say, yeah, this technology is amazing. It does just help you run. Like, it's one of those things that you don't feel like you're putting a lot of effort into it as you're running. It does just, it sort of lets you glide along and sort of float through your stride. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be looking at the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. This shoe, very similar to version 1, version 2. You're going to find out on this video today. On this channel I'm going to attach my first run, or a run in this shoe here. It's what it's all about, isn't it? Running. You want to see what the shoe's actually like in the wild. So we're going to put that here, and then we're going to dive back into the shoe and talk about it in a little bit more detail. Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be taking the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3 for a run, and going to be putting together a review for you. So I've already done 26 miles in this shoe as of today, and I'll be doing around 8 to 10 miles today at an easy pace. I've had this shoe at various paces, including interval paces, and some fast pace and some slow pace stuff, so I already have a very good idea of what I think of the shoe. But yes, going to get some running footage today and on the run thoughts for you. I think already the Speed is a very established line out there now. After the Speed 1 in that mutant colourway, I think it just changed what people thought a daily trainer could do. I didn't get to try the Speed 2. So I've tried the 1 and now the 3. I haven't got the 1 anymore, so I can't really make sort of fresh comparisons for you. I'll just try and remember what I thought of it. I did love that shoe, and maybe give you some insight as to whether I think you need, or not need, or should potentially go for the 3, or whether you'd be better off or just as good going for the 2 or the 1. Lovely out again. We've had some real warm weather lately. It's about 27, 28 again today. It's like being abroad. So listen, I'm not one of those people that buys all these shoes because I think it's gonna turn me into Usain Bolt or Kipchoge. I just love the technology in shoes. I love how they feel different. You know, the upper feels different, or the midsole might feel squishier or firmer, or, you know, great for an easy run but terrible for a fast run, all that kind of stuff. That's why I love shoes, not because I think it's going to transform me. So yeah, hopefully on this channel you will get that perspective here, someone that just enjoys the technology of shoes. If you like that kind of stuff, then make sure you subscribe here. And also as well, this is from a perspective of a guy that can run these sorts of times for point of reference. And also someone that weighs 90 kilograms, a heavier runner, 6'2". You know, that's just a little bit of info there for you so you can relate, because there's some people you'll watch their videos and they'll love the shoe and you will hate it, and vice versa. Be able to hear the wind, hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. Shoes are feeling awesome. That speed roll technology, I don't say it loosely, it really does help. Just keep those legs flowing and moving. I mean, it is an easy run today, but you don't really have to put much effort into the stride. And genuinely, I'm not saying that just to sell a marketing tool. I bought these shoes with my own money. I'm not getting anything out of saying this. It's just my version of the truth. And feeling grateful for these awesome country lanes around Sittingbourne. So we are done, 8.5 miles in total, average pace of 8-minute miles, a few stop-ins, which I don't mind doing on a long run or an easy run. Not because I was tired necessarily, just because it's enjoying the scenery or taking a bit of footage. And that's just something that I do on an easy run, sometimes just stop. It's not a race, is it? Normally after a run or a first run, I put out 3 thoughts. Obviously this isn't a first run, but I'm still going to do that. My 3 key thoughts of the shoe are smooth, effortless, and versatile. So I'm going to put together some more views in a minute. The shoe is there. But yeah, still loving it, still love this shoe. It is one of them shoes that you can just do anything in, and that takes me up to about 34 miles in it now. So very good understanding of it. So yeah, see you in a minute. We will put the stats and statistics of the shoe here. We think a shoe needs to get lighter and lighter and lighter. I'm not one that agrees with this. I think sometimes if it's made improvements to the shoes in terms of maybe durability, or even if you put a plate in there that's going to be a little bit heavier, or something else has changed to actually improve the shoe, who cares if it's a 3, 4, 5 grams extra. Now you might disagree. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. If you agree, let me know down below. So let's jump into the shoe. This is very, very, very similar to version 1 and version 2. The first thing I do want to touch on is that in the UK at least, and for me, I went down half a size to my normal size. So I'm a size 11 UK. I got these in a 10.5 UK, and they fit me absolutely perfectly. There's no way I would have wanting to go half a size up. It would have fit me fine, but 10.5 worked perfectly. So as always, take that how you will. I know some people like a lot more room. Some people like a snug fit. Fitting on a shoe is very specific to the person. But I'm just telling you, from my point of view, I normally go 11, this is 10.5. So like I say, take that as you will. The midsole is the same, so it's the same midsole material, the P-back sort of pellety type material. Although it looks slightly different, it still feels very, very similar to version 1. The upper is like a stretchy mesh sort of upper, which feels really nice and comfortable on the foot, and the tongue provides you a lot of padding. The heel collar here is quite nice and supportive, lots of structure to it. The only thing that I would potentially change would be that it's a little bit coarse around here. I haven't actually had any rubbing or anything like that, any blisters, but I could see potentially, especially if you're wearing ankle socks, that could be an issue. The laces themselves, I quite like the laces. They're sort of like, they're a little bit stretchy, but not too stretchy, and they provide a nice lockdown on your foot. And like I said, with the tongue here, you've got quite a lot of nice padding here. So when you tie the laces, you don't get a lot of pressure on the top of the foot. I know with some laces, you can get quite a lot of pressure on the top of the foot, or if the tongue isn't thick enough, then you can get a lot of pressure. Like I say, you've got a nice little padded area here, so that works out quite nicely. I've got an S-curve plate in here, which is meant to be just a little bit more sort of responsive. I find the ride very, very similar to version 1, if I'm honest with you. I haven't got version 1 anymore though, so I can't give you like an out and out comparison between the two, just what I sort of remember from it. And another thing that has changed is you've got sort of like wings on the plate here now that sort of stick out. So this black bit here and this black bit here is like the winged bit of the plate, which is there to add a little bit of extra stability. A few people were saying that they found version 1 quite unstable. Personally, I didn't find that. So, you know, I'm going to say that I find this a very stable ride as well. But I think you're going to probably find this is more stable than version 2, just because of the fact that you do have that winged plate here, which is it just adds a little bit of like balance to the shoe a little bit more. RMS fun factor score. This is just basically a score that's not based on anything other than when I run in this shoe, how much do I enjoy it. Now, I always say that for me, running is meant to be fun, which is why I give it a fun factor. You know, it's when I go out for a run, yes, I love PBs, yes, I love smashing it, yes, I love, you know, doing all those kind of things, but I also really enjoy technologies in shoes, and I like the shoe to feel fun. So I give it a score after the first run. Okay, this wasn't the first run, but I give it a score anyway. And that, like I said, that is the fun factor, how much I enjoy running this shoe out of 10. And I'll definitely give this a solid 9.5 out of 10. It's just a very lively, very responsive midsole. And the speed roll technology in this shoe, I don't say this lightly. I'm not the sort of person that's just going to say, yeah, this technology is amazing. It does just help you run. Like, it's one of those things that you don't feel like you're putting a lot of effort into it as you're running. It does just, it sort of lets you glide along and sort of float through your stride. You've got plenty of traction there on the outsole. I haven't had it in the rain yet or anything like that, but it's a very grippy and definitely going to be a very durable shoe. I do have a lot of durability issues because of my aggressive skate cycle, but after about 30 miles I'm not seeing anything at all. You'll probably normally think 30 miles you won't see anywhere. Well, I normally do in a lot of shoes. After 30 miles, some of my shoes have almost disintegrated. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very durable shoe, a very fun and very lively shoe. So yeah, if you want to pick up this shoe, I definitely would recommend it. Personally though, I would say, unless the stability was a huge issue for you in version 1, that it might be worth picking up version 1, version 2 in the sale. I don't think the ride has changed that much. Don't get me wrong, this isn't a bad shoe. I absolutely love this shoe and I would definitely recommend buying this shoe. I just think because version 1 at least was a very good shoe. I didn't try version 2, so I'm not 100% sure how the upper is on that or that kind of thing. So I don't want to speak 100%, yeah, version 2 is better than version 3. I'm not saying this isn't better. I'm not saying that this isn't good. I'm just saying this is obviously full price, and version 1, version 2 you'll probably find very cheap. So you'll probably get a very similar ride. Definitely, at least from the midsole experience, you're going to get a very similar ride. The upper sort of feels very similar to version 1. It's a different material, but the fit is still the same sort of fit. It's not too tight, but it's also not too roomy. It's like the Goldilocks of fits. And the tongue is a little bit better in this version, I would say, but the sort of like the experience of the shoe is very similar to version 1, which is a good thing, which is definitely a good thing. If you're one of them people like me that likes to just, you know, get the newest version because you don't want to miss out, then definitely go for this version. This shoe is absolutely fantastic. And that's about it, to be honest. If you've got any more questions about this shoe or something you think I left out, let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer it as best I can for you. As always, guys, I've been Running Man Sam. This has been a super duper shoe review and I'll see you guys in a bit.